What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including WWE made a big mistake with Cody Rhodes, Rhea Ripley sends a stern warning, AEW and CM Punk being sued, Lex Luger's incredible progress to walk again, the Boogeyman wants one more run in WWE, TNA want this former WWE superstar, a former Intercontinental Champion returning to the ring after 10 years, an end of an era for one controversial figure, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. Now let's see the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at Becky Lynch moving on from WWE. At top of today's news is a question of Becky Lynch's future in pro wrestling and whether Lynch is moving on from pro wrestling altogether. While it's believed that Lynch signed a new deal with WWE during her current sabbatical, some recent comments from Becky suggest that she may be rethinking her future in the ring. Becky Lynch spoke with the Getting Over podcast recently and discussed her in-ring career and what the future holds. I'm not trying to be vague or cagey in any way, but I feel like I've had a great mind for wrestling, a great love for it, and it's always going to be part of me. It's in my heart, it's in my head, and it's the reason I have my family, so it's incredibly important to me. I just don't know what that looks like in the future. And there was speculation that Lynch might return to WWE for Raw's debut on Netflix or at the Royal Rumble, but that didn't happen, which has fans speculating when she'll actually be back. However, should fans expect Lynch back in spite of her recent comments? Consider what she had to say recently. Life has surprised me in wonderful ways recently. You can make all these plans, but sometimes things don't go the way you intended. In the long run though, something else works out, something even better than you expected. And honestly, I feel like that's been the story of my entire career. Now, have projects outside of pro wrestling captured Lynch's fancy, and she's no longer interested in the squared circle? Given WWE's incredible array of female talent, the promotion could give Lynch as much time as she wants off, but it's also possible Lynch is hiding her cards so that if she does return, it's a shocker for fans. Next up, have WWE made a big mistake with Cody Rhodes? The WWE Universe is still talking about The Rock's appearance on SmackDown and the really bizarre segment where the final boss told the undisputed champion Cody Rhodes that he wants his soul. While some fans think the storyline has potential, others feel the segment was a confusing mess, which didn't bode well for its future. However, what was the backstage reaction to it? Well, they discussed this on the Wrestling Observer Radio, saying you should have watched that segment and known exactly what's going on, and as one person there told me, in one segment he turned more than the Big Show did in his entire career, which is an exaggeration, but I think he turned 3 or 4 times. They went on to say, the only thing I could say about this segment was that it was weird. He's going face to heel with the crowd, which of course went absolutely nuts when he came out. By the end they were like, what the F is this? You know? I mean, they were genuinely quiet, and then we left, with his music. It was like you'd expect this big ovation. There was nothing. Now, this segment may have actually hurt Cody in the long run. I know one person who was there that they thought that he really diminished Cody, and I wouldn't say that. That's probably an exaggeration in the sense that I don't think he's diminished him in that way that is significant, but I don't think that it helped Cody any by being in the ring with Dwayne in that segment either. You're supposed to do the rub and make him as big as Dwayne and all that. I think that's probably the goal, but I don't think the goal was achieved either. Now, The Rock is booked to appear at Elimination Chamber this Saturday, and he expects an answer from Cody Rhodes, which some fans believe could lead to a heel turn for the American Nightmare. However things play out, the WWE can't afford to have this angle fizzle out, or it's going to hurt Cody and diminish The Rock's appeal. Next up, Rhea Ripley sends a stern warning. Rhea Ripley is enjoying incredible success right now, but it appears some of her fans are getting a bit too enthusiastic with their attempts to reach out to her. The current Women's World Champion recently tweeted a warning to people to respect her privacy. Shouldn't have to say this. Do not ever send fan mail to my house. That is by mail or self-delivered. That is 100% not okay. Now, it goes without saying that this should be obvious to fans, right? But it seems clear that some fans don't know the boundaries of privacy. Next up, AEW and CM Punk sued. A former AEW wrestler, Ryan Nemeth, is suing AEW, and some of the lawsuit's allegations are raising eyebrows. Fightful Select Sean Ross Sapp recently reported on the suit, saying Ryan Nemeth filed a lawsuit on February 14th in California against AEW, Tony Khan, and CM Punk. The complaint is for assault, breach of contract, breach of the implied covenant of good faith and fair dealing, and international interference with prospective advantage. Some fans are really raising eyebrows at the suit, which includes the following allegations about various parties, including Phil Brooks, aka CM Punk. Phil Brooks was another wrestler under contract with AEW and a member of the AEW management team. Tony had a deep fascination with Brooks. Brooks undertook a campaign to terrorize and intimidate plaintiff, including physical assault. Nemeth alleges that AEW and Tony Khan did nothing to protect Ryan Nemeth and other wrestling performers from despicable conduct on the part of Brooks. AEW turned a blind eye to Brooks' conduct because of Tony's deep admiration for Brooks and because he was their most popular wrestling performer. The suit also alleges that Tony Khan was deeply heartbroken at the fact that Brooks left AEW for WWE and blamed Nemeth for it. The lawsuit also alleges AEW tried to blackball Nemeth and keep him from ever wrestling again. What do you guys think of this lawsuit? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Lex Luger's incredible progress to walk again. Now it's time for an update on Lex Luger's attempts to regain his mobility following Diamond Dallas Page being training Luger in DDP yoga, and Page recently uploaded a video showing his progress. The video shows Lex standing up from his wheelchair under his own power. DDP has worked closely with Luger to help him achieve this goal, a reminder that Page is more than just a WWE Hall of Famer, he's a Hall of Famer human being. Lex told WWE.com in 2007 what led to his paralysis. "I injured my neck on an airplane from Atlanta to San Francisco. The way I'd turned my neck while sitting on the plane had basically cut off my blood flow. It was just a freak accident, but it caused massive swelling from my C6 vertebrae at the base of your neck to my D5 in my chest. It paralyzed me from the neck down." And despite his many achievements in pro wrestling, including multiple runs as WCW World Champion and many other titles, Luger is not in the Hall of Fame. A situation his fans hope the promotion will fix very soon. But whether he's in the Hall of Fame or not, it's absolutely awesome to hear his progress on being able to walk again. Next up, the Boogeyman wants one more run in WWE. Now the WWE Universe may get to hear those famous words of "I'm the Boogeyman and I'm coming to get you." That's if the wrestler Martin Wright, aka the former superstar The Boogeyman, gets his wish. The Boogeyman recently tweeted "one more run." Although the Boogeyman is 60 years old, it's easy to imagine working a comedic match, especially in a tag team match, and hides any age-related limitations he may have, which may not be much as he's still in incredible shape for his age. While the WWE has an enormous roster, the idea of legends returning for one or two matches could lead to some fun nostalgic pops. In the Boogeyman's case, fans who grew up watching his worm-eating antics may be interested in seeing him on TV, and WWE might use him on NXT to draw fans who don't watch WWE's developmental territory, much as they recently did with the special ECW-themed episode of NXT. Would you guys like to see the Boogeyman back in WWE? Next up, a WWE referee looking to become a wrestler? There's an intriguing update on WWE's recent trademark application for Calix, and the name could be the start of a return to the ring for current wrestler Jessica Carr. Now, we commented yesterday on a story that Calix might be a new name for current NXT superstar Sol Ruka. However, Fightful Select Sean Ross Sapp is reporting that it may be a name for current referee Jessica Carr. Those in WWE that Fightful Select spoke to claim that Calix trademark was actually used on a recent Evolve taping for referee Jessica Carr in a wrestling capacity. Carr has distinguished herself in WWE as one of its best referees, but she was actually a wrestler before she joined WWE in 2017. Next up, will TNA Wrestling address allegations against Tessa Blanchard? Tessa Blanchard is back in TNA and currently enjoying a strong push. However, it's not all rainbows and sunshines, and some fans are taunting Blanchard with chants such as "you're a racist," a reference to allegations from 2020 that Blanchard not only bullied wrestlers, but made racist comments. These are allegations that Blanchard has denied though. This has raised the question whether TNA plans to address the allegations, something Fightful Select Sean Ross Sapp recently discussed. As of right now, no. Sapp mentioned that he feels that Blanchard should have apologized years ago, and had she done so, she might have been in WWE right now. Next up, a former WWE superstar talks toxic relationship. A former WWE talent is thankful for a time in the promotion, but during an appearance on For the Love of Wrestling, Dana Brooke claimed, "I'll be completely open and honest. It was a toxic relationship. It was definitely a roller coaster ride." As she now goes by the name of Ash by Elegance, and added, "But I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for WWE. WWE gave me an amazing platform to interact with all my fans, to get to know one another, and I'm real." Next up, TNA want a former WWE superstar. Speaking of TNA Wrestling, Dr. Chris Featherstone is reporting that TNA Wrestling is interested in signing former WWE star Elektra Lopez. This is noteworthy because TNA, which is sharing talent with WWE, seems to be signing several former WWE stars, which suggests TNA sees them as potential stars with the right push. Next up, why is Karrion Kross thanking fans? Karrion Kross showed his tender side recently on X, reaching out to the WWE fans with this message of thanks. I'd be lying if I said I haven't felt a major shift in the way a lot of fans feel towards me over the last year, more so recently. Just putting it out there that I see you and appreciate you. And while Kross hasn't reached the heights his fans hoped for when Triple H brought him back, he's always put 110% effort into whatever storyline he works, something fans really are appreciating right now. Next up, a former WWE IC champion returning to the ring after 10 years. Well, looks like former WWE and Lucha Libre Underground wrestler Ezekiel Jackson is mulling over a return to the ring. Jackson recently tweeted a video of himself training in the ring along with this message saying, "Haven't ran in the ring or bumped in a while, not too bad for 46. Jackson held the ECW Championship and the IC Championship, and now he's scheduled to be at FW in North Carolina on March 15th. His first match back in 10 years, as his last match was in 2015 in WXW. And finally, and really finally, the end of an era. Last but not least, a time for some bittersweet news concerning former WWF and WCW writer Vince Russo, as wrestling's original bro has announced that he's retiring from watching WWE when he turns 65 in 11 months. He recently tweeted, "As my retirement plan now comes into form, I can tell you that on my 65th birthday, I will stop watching any and all of WWF programming for good." So that leaves about 11 more months of me being one of the only podcasters who will be brutally honest with you about the poor underachieving creative quality of the show, so enjoy the honesty and truth while you can. Now, his podcast frequently involves some criticizing WWE storylines and Triple H's creative efforts. However, we can only hope that he keeps to his promise. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave a comment down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.